Discover the 12 heartwarming moments that will inspire you to take life-changing action today. Jamie stepped outside, the midday sun warming her tired shoulders, and caught the scent of barbecue wafting through the streets of Maplewood. The laughter of children echoed in the background, a stark contrast to the weighty envelope she clutched in her hand, dark and menacing like a storm cloud threatening her fragile world. The bill within was yet another reminder of her never-ending struggle, as a single mother of two spirited kids. She took a deep breath, pushing back a wave of despair. She refused to let it break her. Hard work would save them, she believed. As she walked, her heart ached for a moment of reprieve, and that when she spotted it, her neighbors, gathered at the park, setting up for a fundraiser to save Benny's Diner, the beloved local restaurant known for its pies and community spirit. The atmosphere was electric. Kids dizzy with excitement darted past her, with smiles wide as they clutched cotton candy, and the sound of laughter enveloped her like a warm hug. Just then she felt someone tap her on the shoulder. It was Mr. Gonzalez, the elderly veteran from down the block. "Hey Jamie," he called out, his voice strong but warm. "You look like you could use some sunshine. How about I tell you a little story while we help save Benny's?" His story of bravery ignited a flicker of hope inside her. As he spoke, tears welled in her eyes, not out of sadness, but because of the burden he had carried for so long. It was a reminder that sacrifice was a strength held by many in their little town, and she was not alone. With each passing moment, the wind seemed to carry a lightness, knitting their community tighter. Mabel, the bakery owner, jumped in to share how she and her husband rebuilt their business after a fire. A little boy offered to sell lemonade, his innocent smile illuminating the dim corners of Jamie's fears. These were the vibrant colors of resilience splashed across her otherwise gray canvas. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But Jamie's heart was heavy with doubts. Thoughts of her estranged mother's disapproval clawed at her mind. "You're too busy working, Jamie. Where's the time for your kids?" Her mother's voice echoed. She wanted to be a good mother, but how could she balance pride with the need for help when her community offered benevolence? Just as Jamie began to feel the embers of hope turn into a fire, calamity struck. An accident at her cleaning job left her on the sidelines, unable to work. The walls of her fragile world began to cave in. Bills piled high, a mountain of dread. Then, as she stood staring at the chaos, her neighbors rallied behind her, bound by collective empathy. In the face of desperation, Jamie's journey took an unexpected twist. She found herself at a crossroads. Would she cling to her pride and risk isolating herself from the warmth around her? Or could she open her heart to the very help she had been offering to others? As Jamie struggled with her decision, an unexpected phone call from her mother loomed on the horizon, promising revelations that could reshape everything she thought she knew about love, forgiveness, and community. Would she embrace her neighbor's support, or let fear shackle her? The choice awaited just beyond her grasp. Jamie stood frozen for a moment, phone pressed to her ear, heart pounding in rhythm with the chaos around her. Her mother's voice was like a distant thunder, recalling memories she buried deep. "Jamie, it's been too long." Her mother's tone was pleading, raw and genuine. But Jamie felt walls around her heart tighten. How could she even begin to address the years of silence? Taking a breath, she glanced around the park, a swathe of color and joy. Children ran past, their laughter mingling with the sounds of conversations swirling around her. The warmth of her neighbors surrounded her, and for the first time in a long while, she pictured a world where she could be part of that joy. Yet shadows still lingered in her mind, crafting obstacles to her happiness. She shook her head slightly, as if trying to physically dislodge the thoughts. No, she wouldn't dwell on old grievances. Not today. Her life, her choices, they belonged to her. She needed to focus on the here and now. Barely noticing her surroundings, Jamie found herself walking towards the center of the park. There were balloons flapping in the breeze, tables laden with homemade treats, and hoofbeats of community spirit pounding in her chest. Suddenly Mabel approached, beaming with infectious enthusiasm. "Hey Jamie. We need all hands on deck. Can you help with the pie booth? They're all freshly baked and waiting for eager customers." Standing amidst the impromptu fundraiser, tasting the sweet aroma of apple and cherry pie tempting her senses, Jamie felt a shift. The weight of her fears began to feel slightly lighter, tethered by the promise of community. "Absolutely," she replied, finding strength in Mabel's bright smile. As she baked under the friendly sun, Jamie couldn't shake off the thought of her mother's call. Could she truly forgive after everything? The past stirred like a storm inside her, recalling hidden childlike dreams of connection. A flicker of hope sparked alongside a shiver of apprehension. But the scent of baked goods and the sounds of camaraderie forced her to push aside the doubts, if only temporarily. Then, just as she turned to bring a fresh pie from the oven, her two kids appeared, their faces glowing with delight. "Mom, they're having a pie-eating contest," her son shouted, tugging her arm. Jamie felt her heart swell. This was what it meant to be alive, to share joy amidst struggles. Yet, behind the laughter lay an undeniable reminder of her current struggles, the continuing storm of bills still looming heavy on her heart. A graphic flyer detailing overdue payments flashed through her mind uninvited. She had to find a way to rally against the storm inside and out. Just then, the last thing she expected happened. Mr. Gonzalez, noticing her concern, approached her again. His expression was serious now. "Jamie, I noticed you've been distant lately. We're all here for you. You don't have to do this alone." Her heart clenched. She wanted to scream out her fears, but instead, she met his gaze, letting the sincerity of his words sink into her. Would she take that leap of faith and open the door to support? As the moment hung heavy, her phone buzzed again. Another message from her mother. She glanced down, heart racing. What could this revelation hold, hope or hurt? Could this be the beginning of rebuilding their fractured relationship, just as she was learning to rebuild her own life? Filled with uncertainty, Jamie took a deep breath, resolute yet anxious. And with that decision, she felt the first snip of a thrilling new path ahead. A complex braid of emotions waiting to unravel. Standing on the edge of a new chapter, would she step forward into the unknown? Or would the past keep her shackled? The answer awaited, fraught with potential, just beyond the horizon. As Jamie stood there, her phone still buzzing lightly in her hand, she felt an invisible tug between the past and what lay before her. Each second stretched like an eternity, echoing with a myriad of emotions she thought she had muted. The distant laughter of children reached her ears again, a reminder of innocence and joy. Yet the weight of adult concerns clung to her like a shadow. Taking a moment, Jamie stepped back from the chaos. She needed to breathe. There was warmth in the sun, but the cool breeze sent a chill down her spine as memories resurfaced. Her mother's words played on repeat in her mind. It's been too long. Was she ready for that conversation? Could she genuinely entertain the idea of reconciliation after all the hurt? Just when her thoughts circled back to doubt, her kids rushed over again, their faces lighting up like the brightest fireflies at dusk. "Mom, can we help?" they asked, bouncing on the balls of their feet, energy radiating from their small frames. "Yes, please," Jamie replied, a spark igniting in her chest. "How about we start with the cherry pie booth? Let us see who can make the biggest slice." Their eyes blossomed like wide-open flowers, and in that moment, Jamie let the warmth wash over her, reminders of love, distraction, hope. As they teamed up to slice and serve pies, the initially heavy thoughts began to blend into laughter. Her son giggled as he struggled with the knife, while her daughter expertly plopped slices onto waiting plates. Each piece of pie served became an act of connection, not just with her children but with the community that was swirling around them, pulling them in like a tender embrace. But Jamie's inner narrative fought back, whispering, "What of your mom?" Each smile masked another question of betrayal towards herself. How could she move forward when part of her heart still lay shackled in the past? It gnawed at her, irritating like an itch she couldn't reach. A few moments later, as she handed a slice to a neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, a woman with silver-streaked hair who had watched Jamie grow up, she felt a shift. "You know, Jamie," Mrs. Thompson said, her voice honeyed and warm, "life is too short to carry old burdens. If they're fracturing, sometimes you have to let the light in, even if it's scary." Jamie felt the heat of Mrs. Thompson's words seep inside her, igniting courage against the cold fear homogenizing her heart. This unexpected moment of clarity was like a call to arms that stirred something deep within. The past was indeed painful, but could she allow herself to be vulnerable again? Lost in thought, she almost missed the additional chuckles bubbling from her children as they raced each other to see who could serve the most slices in the shortest time. Their laughter pulled her back into the moment, a loud and clear reminder of life buzzing around her, rich and vibrant. "Mom!" her daughter shouted, her innocence dancing in the heat of the afternoon. "Can we make a big pie for Grandma next time?" That Jamie froze. A wave of realization washed over her, combining the warmth of hope and the chill of fear. Could she face her mother again, a figure encapsulating years of turmoil? Her heart began to race, but she felt something shift, something significant. When she looked into her children's eager faces, she understood. The past didn't have to define her future. Maybe, just maybe, this was a moment to put down her burdens. As the event thrummed around her, she felt a beckoning call. Was it time to reach out? To mend not just her own heart but her children's view of family? Maybe the invitation for a connection was the transformative journey that awaited. The day wore on, pie slices dwindling, and Jamie's heart continued to pulse with possibility. But what lay ahead? Would she have the courage to open that door? To seize this moment charged with potential? The thought bubbled inside her, igniting a hunger for courage she had almost forgotten. And as another notification flashed on her phone, a new message waiting, it felt as if the universe were nudging her toward a pivotal choice. Would she dare to reply? The next chapter of her life hung tantalizingly in the balance, ready to unfurl. Jamie stared at her phone, the screen lighting up her face with a soft glow. The message was from her mother, a simple "Hi, it's me," but its implications rang louder than any words. She felt like she was standing at the edge of a cliff. Could she take that leap? Through the sun-drenched fare, the rhythmic thump of laughter blended seamlessly with distant chatter, and the appetizing aroma of grilled food wafting by. Yet, at that moment it felt distant. The bustling world became a blur as Jamie focused on her own internal storm. Her daughter tugged at her sleeve, breaking her reverie. "Mom, look! We won Best Pie Slicers." A glistening ribbon dangled from her hand, her pride illuminating the air like a beacon. Jamie smiled, a genuine beam emerging despite her turmoil. Those pure moments of joy ignited a flame within her. If her children could embrace joy so readily, perhaps she could try too. "Let us show Grandma the ribbon," her son suggested, his voice bubbling with excitement. The idea hit Jamie like a splash of cold water, jolting her out of her daze. An idea formed, tentative yet bold. Could reconnecting with her mother heal the invisible cracks that marred their family? The thought sent a rush of adrenaline through her veins. What if she texted her mom right now? Fear clawed at her insides like stubborn weeds. But the warmth of her children's laughter filled her with hope. The idea skimmed through her mind, bringing with it both anxiety and excitement. She wanted to be brave for herself, for them. "All right," she said, taking a deep breath as she reached for her phone. Let us see. Her fingers hovered above the keyboard, shaking with uncertainty. Memories of hurt threatened to hover over her like storm clouds, but she chose to breathe instead. Heart pounding, she let the words flow out. "Hi, Mom. I'd love to talk. How about coffee?" As she pressed send, an unexpected weight lifted from her shoulders, a mixture of relief and fear cascading over her like a soft wave. The past was a tangled garden of memories, but at least she was finally willing to plant the seeds of something new. "Mom, can we get ice cream next?" her daughter inquired eagerly, pulling Jamie back to the moment. The fair, with its fluttering banners and bright games, enveloped her once again. They wandered over to the ice cream stand. The colorful flavors looked enticing in the summer light. Once they had their cones with caramel ribbons oozing down the sides, Jamie felt a surge of warmth as her children bickered about who had the bigger scoop. As she laughed along with them, the tensions of the day didn't seem nearly as daunting. Then her phone vibrated, jolting Jamie from her moment of bliss. A reply her mother wanted to meet. The excitement of her children and the uncertainty of the looming conversation began to weave together in her mind, forming a beautiful yet chaotic tapestry. Would this meeting unravel old wounds or sow new ones? The fear bubbled back up, but the joy in her children's laughter grounded her. In that swirling moment of laughter, anticipation, and memories, she chose to focus on hope. Later that night, tucked in bed, Jamie replayed the day's events in her mind. Every smile, every slice of pie, every word exchanged felt heavier with meaning. She felt a new strength within her. She was ready to face the past with her children holding her hand. But just as contentment washed over her, so did the dreaded uncertainty of the upcoming meeting with her mother. Could the bond be repaired? Would this raw, terrifying step towards reconciliation also be the beginning of healing? As her eyes fluttered shut, Jamie couldn't shake the questions buzzing in her mind. A whirlwind of emotions swirled around her, propelling her into uncertainty. Tomorrow held the promise of new beginnings, but would she have the courage to embrace it? The sun was barely peeking through the curtains when Jamie's alarm clock chimed insistently, pulling her from a restless sleep. She groaned, the weight of uncertainty heavy on her chest. Today was the day. Today she would face her mother. The memories of their last conversation swirled in her mind, sharp, painful, like shards of glass. But deep within, a tiny flame of hope flickered. After a quick shower and a strong cup of coffee, she glanced at her phone. No new messages. Her heart sank momentarily at the thought that her mother might back out. Yet then she reminded herself it was still early. Gathering her courage, she dressed thoughtfully, choosing her favorite navy blue blouse. It felt reassuring, like an old friend. With her children fed and on their way to a friend's house for the day, Jamie stepped out into the warm morning air. The drive to the cafe felt endless. Every stoplight was a small eternity. Her pulse raced as she pulled into the familiar parking lot. The cafe was bustling with life, its window boxes brimming with colorful flowers, a stark contrast to her mood. Taking a deep breath, she made her way inside, the scent of fresh coffee filling her senses. She chose a table by the window, needing to see everyone hustling by, but also craving the comfort of a corner. She pulled her phone out and stared at the screen again. What if her mom didn't show? What if she did? Each scenario played out like a movie inside her head, full of possible outcomes that spiraled into chaos. But just as she was sinking into a whirlwind of anxieties, her eyes caught sight of a figure approaching her mother. Time seemed to slow as they locked eyes. Jamie's heart skipped a beat. The years melted away, each second feeling like a decade. Her mother looked older, with silver strands woven through her once rich hair, but her eyes were the same, filled with apprehension, yet flickering with the hint of a smile. "Jamie," she said softly, settling into the chair across from her. "Hi, Mom," Jamie replied, her voice slightly shaky. She hated how vulnerable she felt, like a child again. Yet, in that moment of fragile connection, something stirred within her. There was a long pause. The noise around them faded. Jamie studied her mother, searching for the warmth she once knew. "Thank you for coming," she finally managed. Her mother nodded slowly, thin fingers tapping nervously against the table. "I wanted to talk," she paused, glancing away almost as if the words had to be hunted down. "I'm sorry for everything." The apology hung suspended in the air, mixing with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Jamie's heart warmed at her mother's admission, opening a door she thought was forever locked. I've missed you," she blurted out, surprising even herself. Her mother's eyes flickered with a painful mixture of hope and remorse. "I've missed you too," she admitted. "But it's been hard for me. I didn't know how to reach out. I felt lost." Tears pooled in Jamie's eyes, blurring the world outside the cafe. "We can find our way back together. I want to try," she whispered. As the tension began to dissolve, Jamie felt a rush of emotion, fear, excitement, hope. It enveloped her like a comforting blanket. Maybe this wasn't just a chance to reconnect, but a chance to build something entirely new. Just then, a little girl in a bright yellow dress skipped past their table, ice cream cone in hand. Jamie chuckled, glancing at her mother. "Looks like we aren't the only ones dealing with sticky situations today," she said, a teasing grin breaking through the gravity of their conversation. Her mother joined in, a laugh bubbling forth that felt like music. It was a sound Jamie hadn't heard in ages, and at that moment, the heavy shadows of their past began to lift. Yet as laughter filled the room, Jamie felt a flicker of doubt creep back in. Could they really turn the page now? What if old patterns re-emerged? "I know this is just the beginning," she said cautiously, searching her mother's face. "But what do we do next?" Her mother's expression shifted, solemn but hopeful, and Jamie held her breath, waiting for the answer that could change everything. Jamie could see the gears turning in her mother's mind, the flicker of uncertainty shadowing her brow. It felt like they were both on a tightrope, balancing between the past and the fragile promise of what lay ahead. I think we should start small, her mother suggested, her voice steadying. Maybe regular calls? Coffee dates? Just getting to know each other again. The idea was so simple, yet it pulled at Jamie's heart. It sounded like a plan and action they could take together, not just a vague wish. She nodded slowly, hoping her smile projected the trust she was beginning to feel. I'd like that. I really would. A waitress approached, breaking the moment's intensity, her notepad poised and ready. Can I get you two something? She asked, glancing between them, sensing the charged atmosphere. I'll have a latte, Jamie said, her eyes quickly darting back to her mother. And I'll take a tea, her mother replied, a newfound spark in her voice, as if she were rediscovering herself in this moment too. Once the waitress left, silence fell over the table again. But it was a different silence this time, one filled with reflection and possibility. Jamie wondered what her mother was thinking. Did she feel the change too? I was scared to reach out, her mother admitted, stirring her hands in her lap. I worried too much about how you would react. If you'd even want to talk to me after everything that happened. It hurt. Jamie's voice wavered. But I've spent so many years holding on to that hurt. I'm tired of it. I want to move forward. Her mother's face softened. Jamie, I never meant for things to end up like this. I was lost, caught in my own struggles. But none of that excuses my distance from you. A sudden surge of courage gripped Jamie. Maybe we can share our struggles. Talk about what happened. What hurt us. It might help to understand each other better. Her mother nodded, an encouraging smile forming. I think I'd like that too. We both have stories to tell. Just then their drinks arrived, the warm, comforting scents enveloping them. As steam rose from the cups, it seemed to bring new warmth into their conversation. Here's to new beginnings, Jamie said, raising her cup slightly in a toast. To new beginnings, her mother echoed, the sparkle back in her eyes. Swallowing a sip of latte, Jamie felt something shift within her, an unfurling of hope mixed with nostalgia. Yet a knot of fear still lingered. Could this really be genuine? Was there a risk they both needed to take? They chatted about little things, the weather, the cafe's cozy ambience. As they slipped back into the easier rhythms of conversation, Jamie's doubts started to ease. Maybe the old wounds were healing at least a little. But then a sudden thought crept in, unsettling her calm. There was a part of her mother's life Jamie knew nothing about. What had her mother truly been through? What secrets still lay in the shadows? Mom, Jamie ventured cautiously, what do you think about sharing the things we've kept hidden? Maybe not all at once, but I think it could really help us understand each other. Her mother's eyes widened, and for a moment Jamie worried she had gone too far. But then her mother sighed, a blend of sorrow and relief washing over her features. I think we need to. It's time for honesty for both of us. With that admission, Jamie felt a rush of exhilaration and fear. They were standing at the edge of something big, something transformative. As they finished their drinks, a thick tension interweaved with the warm air around them. Jamie could feel it swirling, the promise of revealing truths just beneath the surface. What if the things we uncover change how we see each other? Jamie whispered, biting her lip. The question hung in the air, echoing in her mind. Was she ready for whatever those truths might be? Could she handle the reality of her mother's past? Her mother's gaze bore into hers. We'll move through it together, whatever it is. The warmth of their connection felt like the sun breaking through clouds, but with it came uncertainty. They were two women on the brink of rediscovery, each holding parts of the other's heart in their hands. And as Jamie sat there, the world bustling outside the window, she realized she was more terrified than ever. But maybe, just maybe, that was the journey she needed to embrace. With a deep breath, she held her mother's gaze, and for the first time in years, she truly wondered what was waiting for them on the other side of honesty. Would the revelations bind them further, or tear them apart completely? Jamie took a shaky breath, her heart racing with anticipation. The moment felt monumental, a crossroads in their relationship beyond the coffee table and the chaotic cafe. She wanted to believe they could lift the weight of the past together, but uncertainty still wrapped around her like a fog. Okay, Jamie began, her voice steadying. Let us start with what drove you away all those years. I mean, what really happened? Her mother shifted in her seat, a shadow flitting across her features. It's hard to put into words, she admitted. I was overwhelmed. I thought I was protecting you by keeping my distance. When life became too much to handle, I chose to pull away instead of leaning in. Jamie felt a knot in her throat. But I needed you. I needed you then, she whispered. I know, her mother responded softly, her voice thick with regret. And I can't take back the moments that slipped away, the nights you spent alone, wondering why I wasn't there. I was scared and didn't know how to ask for help or how to give it. Tears pricked the corners of Jamie's eyes. She understood fear. She lived with it, too, fear of being misunderstood, of being left behind. I thought I had to be strong all the time. That if I ever showed my pain, it would somehow break us even more, she confessed. Her mother reached across the table, their fingers brushing for the first time in ages. But we're stronger together, she said, her eyes glistening. What I did was selfish. I thought safeguarding myself meant safeguarding you. A silence fell between them, heavy yet charged with the electricity of acknowledgement. Jamie squeezed her mother's hand, searching for the courage to unearth the deeper layers of their shared past. What was the breaking point for you? Jamie asked, her voice barely a whisper. Were there moments you wanted to come back? To fix this? Her mother's gaze fell to her lap as she searched for the right words. There were many moments. Birthdays, holidays, I would see you laugh and felt like a ghost sitting outside the window. Every time I thought about reaching out, my fears would drown me. The guilt, regret, all of it was suffocating. Jamie's heart ached at her mother's honesty. The admission peeled back layers of resentment she had worn like armor for years. I never knew, she murmured, swallowing the lump in her throat. Jamie, we both hid from each other. I thought you were better off, but I see now how much that hurt us. Her mother's voice trembled. I wish I could go back and change it. The warmth in the cafe faded into a soft blur around them, as if the world had temporarily paused. Jamie felt the enormity of that wish hanging in the air, evidence that they both had suffered in silence. As they shared confessions, Jamie wanted to scream, to rejoice, to cry. But a new thought pushed its way forward. What do we do now? How do we repair something that feels so broken? Her mother's expression turned grave, the realization sinking in. It's going to take time, a lot of time. But I want to try. I want to be in your life. No more hiding. Jamie's heart fluttered, a mix of hope and fear swirling in her chest. What about all the secrets? The things we haven't talked about yet? We faced them together, her mother said firmly, squeezing her hand once more. One step at a time. Just as the weight of that promise filled the air, a loud crash interjected from the other side of the cafe. Jamie's head turned, instinctively seeking the commotion. A young couple, oblivious to the hushed space around them, had just knocked over a stack of plates, spilling chaos all over the floor. The laughter and murmurs that followed cut through the tension, a jarring reminder of life's relentless unpredictability. Jamie chuckled lightly, finding humor even in the absurdity. Looks like we're not the only ones making a mess today, she said with a nervous laugh. Her mother smiled, the moment dissolving some of the lingering fear. But Jamie knew that was just the surface. As they finished their drinks and prepared to leave, Jamie realized this was only the beginning. What they had unearthed would only lead to more questions and revelations. Could they truly navigate the unknowns that lay ahead? With a new determination, she looked into her mother's eyes. Let us take this journey one conversation at a time. And as they stepped out into the bustling street, Jamie felt the sun warm her face, igniting the flicker of hope in her heart. But deep down, she knew they stood on the edge of something bigger. What awaited them beyond these first steps could either solidify their bond or drive a deeper wedge between them. What revelations still lay buried in the shadows of their shared past, waiting to be discovered? The sun spilled warmth across Jamie's face as she and her mother stepped out onto the sidewalk, the cool breeze whispering through the leaves above. It felt like a new beginning, each breath filled with possibilities. Yet, uncertainty gnawed at the edges of that warmth. As they walked side by side, she could feel the weight of unaddressed wounds lingering in the air. Can we just take a walk? Maybe head to the park? Jamie suggested. She needed time to think, to process the conversation they had just opened. Her mother nodded, an encouraging smile breaking her usually reserved demeanor. They walked in silence for a moment, the sounds of the cafe fading into the bustling city atmosphere. Jamie noticed families laughing, children playing, life moving forward. But her heart felt like it was still stuck in the past. "Remember when we used to stroll through the botanical gardens?" her mother suddenly said, nostalgia softening her voice. Jamie's heart fluttered at the memory. "Yeah, I loved the butterfly exhibit. You would always take so many pictures." "I still have those pictures," her mother replied, chuckling. "You were so little and we made up stories about the butterflies. Like they were fairies on secret missions." "I always wanted to be a fairy," Jamie smiled, finding a flicker of lightness. But that flicker became overshadowed as the familiar sadness washed over her. "Why did we stop going there?" Her mother's gaze turned somber. "Life got in the way. I thought you were better off without me dragging you into my chaos." The admission cut deeper than Jamie expected. But it was a part of us. Part of the times we shared. They arrived at the park, the vibrant colors of flowers surrounding them. Jamie felt a gentle pull towards a bench underneath an oak tree. They sat down, surrounded by the laughter of children running by, the sound of birds chirping. Yet Jamie felt miles away from that joy. "What if could we start making new memories?" Jamie asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Even if it's not like before?" "I want that too," her mother replied, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "But we have to be real with each other. It won't be easy. It can't just be sunshine and butterfly stories." "No more hiding," Jamie echoed the sentiment they had embraced earlier. "I need to understand everything that happened. Feels like we're trying to build on a foundation of quicksand." Her mother took a deep breath, stealing a glance at the kids playing nearby. "There are things I haven't spoken of. Things I never wanted to burden you with. But maybe I was just trying to shield myself too. It's time for the truth." Jamie felt hope and fear battling it out inside her. "Then let us be honest. Together." "I'm ready." Just as Jamie leaned back, the gentle breeze stirring her hair, she caught a glimpse of a group of teenagers nearby, laughing and taking selfies. One girl struck a pose, her vibrant energy infectious. It struck Jamie then a belief in resilience, laughter, and honesty to bridge the past. "Would it help if we set a date for a day of old memories and new ones?" Jamie suggested, her heart racing with the idea. "To visit the gardens, maybe?" Her mother's eyes widened with surprise but also something deeper. "Really? Could we?" "Why not?" Jamie replied, a smile breaking free. "Let us reclaim those moments even if they're messy. We deserve that chance." "I'd love that," her mother said, tears glistening in her eyes, this time sparkling with joy rather than regret. As they sat amid laughter and life, Jamie felt a warmth wrap around her, the warmth of possibility, of healing. It was a reminder that even in the mess, love could find its way back. But as they talked about making plans, a sudden shadow passed over Jamie, reminding her of the conversations still left unspoken. "Mom," she asked, a weight in her voice, "what are the things you've kept hidden? What can we still uncover together?" The question hung between them like an unturned stone, promising to lead them deeper into the journey they had just begun. Would they be brave enough to face those shadows? Jamie felt the air thick with anticipation. Her mother turned to her, eyes searching, as if weighing the depth of Jamie's inquiry against years of silence. The sun filtered through the oak leaves, casting playful shadows on her mother's face, and Jamie wondered what stories lurked in that shaded past. "Are you sure you want to know, Jamie?" Her mother's voice was soft, barely above a whisper. "Some things are better left unspoken." "But they're a part of us," Jamie insisted, feeling a surge of determination. "If we're going to start fresh, we need the truth, even the painful parts." Her mother's face tightened, the joy they had just shared wavering. "It's not pretty. I've carried guilt for so long. I thought protecting you meant hiding the hardest truths." Jamie leaned forward, entangled in worry and hope. "Mom, life can't be perfect. We can't just sweep everything under the rug. We owe it to ourselves." The fluttering of birds overhead almost echoed the weight of that moment. Her mother took a deep breath, vulnerability painting her features. "When you were younger, I struggled. More than you know. I tried to be the perfect mom, but I was drowning. I thought if I could keep you from my chaos, you'd be free. But I want all of you," Jamie interjected, emotion weaving through her words. "I want your chaos because that's a part of who you are." They sat in silence, the laughter of children fading into the background as they considered the depth of their unspoken bond. Jamie's mother finally nodded, her resolve building. "Hey, but know that some things will hurt. Some truths will shake us." "I can handle it," Jamie promised, her heart racing with both fear and excitement. Her mother began hesitantly. "I was in a toxic relationship when you were little. Your father. He wasn't the man you think he was. He struggled with his own demons and I thought I could fix him. I thought I could give you a normal life." Jamie's heart sank at the mention of her father. "You mean he was struggling?" "Yes," her mother nodded, pain etching into her expression. "He was a good man, Jamie, but he lost his way. I thought leaving would be best, moving us away to escape that life. I never wanted you to have to choose between love and safety." Jamie clenched her fists, feelings of anger and sadness battling within her. "Why didn't you tell me any of this? I've always wanted to understand. I wanted to protect you from knowledge that could hurt your heart," her mother confessed, tears pooling in her eyes. "But maybe I was protecting myself most of all." "What else is there?" Jamie asked, voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. Her mother hesitated, uncertainty shadowing her features. "I missed so many moments because I was afraid of the past catching up to me." Jamie's mind raced. She had so many questions, but one pushed to the front. "Do you regret it?" "Sometimes," her mother said carefully, "but I don't regret you. You are my strength. You're my light." That affirmation sparked something in Jamie, a sense of pride twisting with the pain of truth. They were mending, rebuilding even amidst the chaos. Just then, a small girl nearby attempted to fly her first kite, laughter spilling from her as it swooped and dipped, bringing a moment of distraction. Jamie and her mother watched in silence, their hearts swelling with a mix of sorrow and joy. "Can we try to teach each other how to fly?" Jamie asked softly, turning back to her mother with a renewed sense of initiative. "Even with the gusts that come out of nowhere?" Her mother's eyes sparkled, tears glistening again, but this time with a hint of hope. "Yes, my love. Let us learn together." As they embraced in the shadow of the oak, a sense of warmth enveloped them, the edge of uncertainty now starting to fade. Yet, a new reality settled in. The journey ahead would be lengthy, fraught with revelations yet to come. "Mom," Jamie whispered, her voice trembling again with uncertainty. "What happens next? What else do we need to face?" The question hung in the air, heavy with possibility. Would they summon the strength to face whatever shadows still loomed? Her mother took a deep breath, the weight of Jamie's question hanging between them like a fragile balloon ready to burst. "There's a lot more to uncover, sweetheart. Things I've kept locked away for too long. And some of those secrets might change how you see me," she said, her voice quivering. Jamie's heart raced. Fear and curiosity crashed against one another inside her. "I want to know. We're in this together now. We have to face whatever it is," she reassured, squeezing her mother's hand tightly. As they sat, the sounds of laughter and rustling leaves wrapped around them like a comforting blanket. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue over the park, illuminating the contours of their faces. Her mother's expression softened, a mixture of anxiety and relief washing over her. "Okay, I'll start with your father. He was sick," her mother continued, eyes clouding. "Not just physically but mentally. I always thought I could fix him, that my love would be enough, but it wasn't he. The deeper I fell for him, the harder it became to breathe." The words hung heavy in the air, each syllable tugging at Jamie's heart. She squeezed her mother's hands, anchoring her. "You don't have to protect me anymore," she whispered, her voice steady. "Tell me everything." Her mother took a shaky breath, her vulnerability palpable. "When I realized I had to leave him, it tore me in two. It was the hardest decision of my life. You were so young, just a baby, but I knew I needed to choose safety for both of us." Tears pooled in Jamie's eyes as hearsay turned flesh. "That must have felt like drowning," she said softly. "It was," her mother replied, the flicker of tears tracing the lines of her face. "But I had to think about you. I wanted to give you a chance at a life without chaos. I thought moving would mean starting fresh, a new opportunity. Yet it felt like you were leaving me behind," Jamie said, the words spilling out. "You went quiet for so long." Her mother's gaze remained locked on Jamie, sorrow rippling through her features. "I thought distance was the answer. But all it did was create an emptiness, a silence that grew louder with time." As the revelation washed over them, Jamie felt something inside her shift, a mix of empathy and newfound understanding. We both lost something precious, a chance to be together, to heal. Her mother nodded, the weariness in her eyes hinting at years of unspoken burdens. And I'm so sorry for that. But now we can start to build a new foundation. We can share our truth, stitch it together with all the moments we create moving forward. Hope surged through Jamie's heart, a blossoming flower amidst the thorns of their past. Then let us promise to lean on each other. We'll get through this messy journey together. Together, her mother echoed, and Jamie felt them both breathe in that promise. Just then, laughter erupted from the children nearby as a kite soared high into the sky, dipping and gliding with the warm breeze. It was a reminder that even amidst struggles, there could be joy. Mom, Jamie said, a sudden determination firing up within her. Can we face the things that still worry us? Can we talk about our feelings, our past, even the hard stuff? I want us to unravel it all. Her mother's eyes glistened, a mixture of pride and sorrow. Yes, Jamie. I promise to share everything. No more walls between us. Just honesty and love. They embraced, a powerful moment woven with warmth. Enveloped in that hug, Jamie felt a tangible shift in their relationship. The air around them seemed to hum with newfound energy, giving them strength. As they pulled away, Jamie burst into a smile. How about we kick off this fresh start with that trip to the botanical gardens? Let us make it a day of reconnecting. I would love that, her mother replied, a genuine smile brushing away some of her earlier worries. We can take those old butterfly stories and craft new ones. And just like that, amidst the laughter and rustling leaves, Jamie felt a profound hope settle into her soul. Together they would confront the past, hand in hand, ready to discover what lay beneath the layers of hurt. Each step forward would be an exploration, a gradual understanding of who they were, and who they could become together. As they rose from the bench, a sense of buoyancy enveloped Jamie. With each step toward the future, the shadows of the past began to retreat. Let's make a plan, Jamie suggested playfully, excitement bubbling within her. We'll write our shared stories, highlight the memories we cherish, and face anything the past throws our way. Together, her mother agreed, eyes sparkling with newfound resolve. Their laughter mingled with the sound of children playing as they walked towards a bright, uncertain horizon. Each stride represented a little victory, building their bridge back to one another. In that moment, the world felt limitless, filled with possibilities, hope, and promise. Healing was on the horizon, and today was just the start of their journey. Now, if you want to keep following Jamie and her incredible story, you need to subscribe now and become a part of this journey. Don't wait not even one more second. Leave a like to feed the algorithm. And please comment below your thoughts and feelings about this transformation. I want to hear from you. Also, share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this inspiring journey. Show your support with action. Let's keep this momentum going.